Hey y'all, it's Justine. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I have an exciting little get ready with me because we're getting ready to go to my art show. For the last month, I've been working on a solo exhibit that's featured at Slice of Life in Vancouver. So this is a 5-day long exhibit and I have new drawings and paintings, some little clay things that I made, and yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So tonight is the opening night. And in this video, I'm also going to be showing a little bit of like the behind the scenes, the process of what I have been working on this past month. And we're going to jump into the future. And after this, I'm going to put some shots from the opening night. So hope you enjoy. So I'm just going to do a very simple makeup look. Also, excuse me if I'm looking down because I have a little mirror down here. It feels really nice to be birthing my exhibit. I signed up to do the show last year, like I think almost 1 year ago now. Slice of Life does their intake for gallery shows the prior year. So I had signed up for September because I love September, probably my favorite month because it's still summer, but it's still sunny, but the leaves are changing. Can't wait till it's fall so I can really start dressing, as they say. I wanted to minimize the potential of my friends being out of town for the show. September, there's still a likelihood, but people are more back in the city as opposed to in the summer itself. And as luck would have it, in a good way, not being sarcastic, the weather is absolutely beautiful and perfect today. I couldn't have asked for better weather for the opening night. That may mean that some people are gonna choose going to the beach or a patio, but that's okay. So the title of my exhibit is Vessel. I wanted to explore vases and bowls. I really love the motifs that I found on a lot of like traditional Chinese ceramics and porcelain, like Ming Dynasty vases. They're just absolutely stunning to me. So I drew inspiration from that, as well as some direct inspiration from bowls and pottery, and vases that are in my mom's house, my aunt's house, and just the motifs and graphics that I grew up being surrounded with as a child. If you already are familiar with my style, typically I have a very limited color palette, so I usually use just like black, red, cream, and occasionally some pops of blue or yellow. But it's usually quite limited. Prior to me kind of cultivating that style, like in high school, I used to use colored pencil all the time and watercolor all the time. And I had a less graphical sort of approach to my work. I had a lot of like softness, a lot of like color blending and layering. And I wanted to kind of revisit that because I have a hesitation about like pigeonholing myself into one style. And I also have a hard time like completely sticking to one style forever, as I think a lot of people do. People are changing, music, like same thing with music or any other form of medium. People are always evolving and drawing inspiration from different things. So I wanted to kind of go back to some mediums that I used to use a lot in the past and kind of incorporate a lot more like softness in my work, because usually I have quite a like a high contrast look. So I was playing with some softness and some more delicate looks. The theme of vessels, but in many different mediums and many different things. Firstly, I want to talk about doing my wood paintings. Wood is a medium that I really like using because the wood stand as part of the piece itself and have the wood kind of showing through what I paint on top. So I like to play with a bit of transparency there and letting the wood shine. So I prepared these pieces of wood by sanding them and staining them. 2 of the pieces from Michael's and the other 2, which are solid wood, were from my friend's brother, as they were offcuts from furniture that he was building. It's very important to prepare your wood. Another thing that I made were little air dry clay trays. I think in the future I would absolutely love to make actual ceramic pieces that are fired, but for now I really enjoy playing with air dry clay and seeing what I can make with them. I kind of do just, make a plain base and then paint something on it. So I made these little trinket trays. I'm gonna show a little clip of me like sanding them down. So after I made them, I set them to dry for about 24 to 48 hours, and then I sanded them to get them nice and smooth. I'm no expert in air dry clay at all, but I have heard that it can be a little bit more challenging to work with as it does crack a bit more than normal clay, but you do what you can. And I feel like the sanding also does help to buff out any of those imperfections. Primarily, I was working on paintings and drawings for the show though. That's kind of the main focus of the show, is the drawings and paintings. In my process, I usually will mock up something, so I'll do like a rough sketch of something, and I find it very helpful to do that on my iPad because then I can play around and very easily drag different pieces and components till I make a composition that I like. And then from there, projected these rough sketches onto the wall, which I then transferred onto my wood panels or my paper or whatnot, because I already knew that I liked the composition, and I find it a lot faster and easier to be able to modify things quickly digitally. Yeah, it's not as easy to piece things together when you start on a traditional medium. I found it so frustrating to work here though. This is the first art show that I've done living in this apartment. I found it so dark, and I think if you don't have like a designated studio space or a designated like space that has huge windows or something, lighting is always gonna be a bit of an issue, but I really found myself getting frustrated, especially if I was working into the evening, that I just did not have enough light. So I actually kind of used the light from the projector just to get more light in the space. Having a vibey, cozy place is great until you actually have to look at the details of what you're doing. I also made a lot of prints for the show. So at Slice of Life, it's a very accessible, community-driven space, and I think everyone wants to have pieces that are accessible. And even if the originals are relatively accessible, it's always great to have things that are super accessible, like prints and stickers. So I also prepared lots of prints at home too. I'm gonna make a video in the future that kind of outlines my process on how I make prints at home, because I've been making them at home for about like 8 or 9 months now, and I think I've kind of gotten into a good groove with it. It was a bit annoying at first, so I trimmed, I labeled, I packaged all of these prints too. Yesterday I went and actually set up and installed everything. Such a weight off my chest. I feel like I was really like anxious, but like in an excited way for a long time. But now I still do have butterflies getting ready to go to the opening night tonight, but it feels good that everything's on the wall. We did have a little incident though. I was hammering on the wall. I had another painting already hung up, and the frame did break, or it fell off the wall because I was hammering on that wall. Now I know. You learn something new every day. But luckily I was able to use a replacement that the gallery provided me. I use a lot of red in my work. It's like an accent color. So I think I'm gonna roll up wearing this little dress. I got this dress to wear to my friend's wedding earlier this summer, but I was also thinking that it would be a perfect dress to wear to this opening, or also just like any art events that I have. I do try to wear like red or something that kind of goes with the work that I have to display. Just, you know, it's a little nod, a little homage, and to just make everything cohesive. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wear that. I think I'm gonna wear my Oxford shoes. And I can't decide if I wanna wear my hair straight or do a bit of curling action, but I'm gonna do that off camera. And then I'm gonna show you my outfit, and we're gonna head over to see my exhibit. All right, I'm back. There's an extreme sun ray coming in, as was also seen in the previous clips, but I've slightly moved the camera because it's directly in my face now. Evidently, I went with a little bit of a wavy look for my hair. It's all done now, but I do need to buy some hairspray because I don't have any, and I so infrequently use like heat styles on my hair these days. But I definitely need a bit of hold, because I think even in like the last 20 minutes before I filmed this clip, it's already fallen a little bit. So anyways, we went with the wavy look. The dress is on. A little jade ring for my aunt is on. Some big old hoops. So yeah, I am all ready and I will see you at the show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of a recap of what I've been working on for the last month. If you have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to leave them down below. Give me a like and a subscribe if you do so wish. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!